you got it, girl. You got it. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead. I went ahead and just clicked record. So let's give it like 2 more minutes and then we'll see how everyone is doing. Because people will jump on late, etc. Okay, so here comes Miss Rachel. So Lindy departs, Rachel joins. Rachel, how are you?
Hi, I am good.
Hi.
I'm on my sofa. I just had back surgery, so this is not me like being lazy. This is me like I'm not allowed to sit in chairs.
Girl,
So
listen, you
sorry.
don't need to explain yourself.
Yeah.
Like, so here's Lindy. Lindy is just getting off the call because she got into an accident and she's going to a chiropractor now. And then you just had back surgery. I mean, listen, we all have stuff ish going on, right? I know. Insane.
Is she
Hello,
okay?
Sabrina. Hi,
Lindy
Sherry.
okay?
I'm sorry.
Is Lindy okay?
She's okay. She's
Okay.
okay. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's dedication. That's right. That's right. I mean, Rachel literally, I mean, Rachel, you just had back surgery last week.
Yeah, Monday, a week
Oh my,
ago.
oh my God.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, right, right. And we all think that we have a like, right? Like, yep. No, I get it. I get it. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and get started. Oh, here it comes. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Find a way, make a way. So, so, so true. Okay, so first of all, good morning if you're in the central, depending on where you're located, good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining, girls. Hi, Nico.
Hi.
Hello. Listen, I'm beyond thrilled that all of you are on this call. We need to have these. I feel like we need to have these more often, right? Like we need to have these more than just once a month. What do you think about that? Yes, Stephanie is like,
Agree.
yeah, she's like, okay, okay. So we'll talk about that. But what I want to do today is I want to just take this opportunity to mastermind on a specific topic that we actually talked about on the Superstar Mastermind last week. And it was all around. And before we go there, I want to hear like what worked for you. So here's what I want to do. Okay, are we good? So I want to review March. All right, I want to review March. More specifically, you're going to say, I hit SC, whatever. I want to know how many new. That is the focus. Like how many new partners, new PCs, new clients. And so I want all of you to do me a favor, type in the chat, like whatever success club you ended the month with in the month of March. Okay. Because I don't have visibility to that yet. Those numbers haven't come through. And then I want you to put how many new. This amount of new, this amount of renewals, right? Because as we all want our income to grow, we have to find new. And I know we're all in this, yes, for the community and yes, everything else, but primarily it is for the fact that the income. Okay, so let me find, okay, here we go. Okay, Sherry, SC8, 4 new PCs, 1. Okay, this is good. This is good. Okay, so hold on. All right, so Sherry, SC8, 4 new PCs. Deb, SC4, 2 new PCs. This is where I want to get into like the specific. And Deb, 1 new coach. Perfect. 1 new partner. Steph, like what is happening? Second highest ever. Like, girl, oh my goodness. 5 new customers, 2 new partners. Beat all my numbers from this time. No way. In 1 month. I mean,
well, no, I compare Q1 last year to Q1 this year, and then like month by month, I compare everything, and like everything is beating last year. So, yeah,
that's amazing. Okay,
my word of the year is beat your best. So I'm like all like super data focused, and yeah,
heck to the yes, Steph. Awesome. Okay, so Rachel, listen, Rachel, you just had back surgery. Give yourself a little like grace there, right? Give yourself a little bit of grace. Okay, so 2 new PCs. Sabrina, same thing with you, girl. Like Lots we're supposed to sign. Okay, so Sabrina, SC7, SC8, 2 PCs, 1 partner. So I want all of you to see this. Like, look in the chat. Okay, look in the chat. So Steph, what is working? That's what we're going to talk about, Rachel. And then Nico, did everyone put in here SC10 and 1 new challenger? Okay, so Mandy. Okay, Mandy. Where's Mandy? Mandy, you hit SC4. Okay, everyone put in there, right? Everyone. Sherry, did you put in there, Sherry? Yep, you did. SC8. Okay. All right, so let's talk. First of all, like, you can see some of you had a really good month. Some of you did not. And that's what we're seeing across the network, right? Like, there's going to be months where it's going to be really, really good. And there's going to be, that's the nature of this business. The most important thing is your level of consistency. Even, for example, Rachel, you're on the call. You just had freaking back surgery, girl. Like, you are still showing up, is my point, right? There is still that level of consistency that even in the hard, we still show up. And that is what's going to get you, Steph. Listen, your success was the culmination. Don't think it's 1 month. Like, it's the culmination of all the seeds that you planted up until this point. And you're like, for sure. So if you're okay with this, Steph, I'd love to hear from you. Like, what worked for you, or what is working for you as it led you to having a really successful March?
I would love to. So I so number one, like, I just did more. Like, I just worked more. I invited more. I followed up more. Like, I track my invites. I track how many of those invites say yes. I track how many of them actually end up converting and purchasing. So, like, I know that, like, I just worked more than previous months. So that's like the most simple, straightforward thing. But in terms of like team growth, I really capitalized on New Leader Conference and the Success Club trip. Like, it was bananas how well the email marketing that I implemented worked during those trips. Like, so I think that's been the biggest key to my success, and my team duplicated it. So everything that I was sending out, they were sending out. So I think the biggest success that we had in March was we sent out a series of emails for the Success Club trip. And I did the exact same thing in February with Vegas. But what happened was I sent an email before we left to my entire email list, which is not big. But I sent out an email to everybody kind of saying, like, you know, I'm heading on this trip. Like, you're going to, you know, if you're interested in hearing more about this, keep coming back and checking in. I'll keep sending invites or updates. And so then what I did is I sent an email every single day we were away, and I treated those emails like a business opportunity call. So when I run business opportunity calls, they're super short and to the point, and they normally have like 4 topics. So I just covered one topic in every day's email. So, like, I talk about, like, what is a body partner? I talk about, like, what's a typical day in the life of a body partner. I talk about the different ways we earn income. And I talked about the most common fears and objections. And I, like, address them, like, head on. Like, you think this is a pyramid scheme? Let's talk about it. Like, I just, like, really, I'm super transparent about them. So those are 4 topics that I cover every month in a business opportunity call, but I used them in my email marketing when it came to the trip. And what was really, like, mind blowing, I was talking to Nico about this. I was sending out emails and they were actually getting opened, and, like, they were actually getting read. And what was cool was every day I would only send the next email to the people who had opened the day before. So every day I was dwindling down my emails, like, the people who were getting them. But what was super cool was that as I was sending them to less and less people, my open rates and my, like, engagement in them was going, like, up to the point where, like, on the final day of my email series, or actually when I got home, and I sent another one to follow up, it had 100% open rate. And, like, not like on a handful of people. Like, I had like 102 out of 102 people opened them. And of course I'm, like, trying to get curious. Like, did they just open it because I, like, clickbaited them with, like, my subject line or whatever? And, like, I didn't do that. I made it, like, super clear in the subject line. Like, if you're opening this, if you want to know about the business opportunity, right? So I think that that worked super well over March. And because I had like a really clear strategy going into those trips and my team duplicated it, we have a lot of new excitement in terms of new partners who are starting a new partner mentorship with us. So we have like 4 brand new, like ready to run partners who are like super, super, super excited. And they came out of this email like drip series. I honestly think that was, I mean, aside from I just worked more, I think that was the biggest thing.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Okay. Does anyone have any questions for Steph?
So Sherry said, can you repeat the
Here we go.
topics? Yeah. So I just do like super basic, like what is body? Like what is the body partner? Because a lot of people on my list aren't customers. And then the second one is like a day in the life. So I talk about basically the 4 vital behaviors in like layman's terms. And then the third one is how do we earn income? So like I really, really briefly cover the fact that there's like 5 different income streams. Like I simplify it a lot. And then the fourth one is most common concerns. So I talk about normally the 4 most common concerns. So I'm not at my goal weight yet. I use myself as an example. I don't have the time. I talk about that one. I don't want to be salesy. Talk about that one. And then I talk about isn't that a pyramid scheme? So that's what I do on my final part.
Awesome. Okay. Mandy also typed in here, what program did you use to send it out?
I use Aweber. I don't hear a lot of people talk about it, but I love it. So Aweber.
A-W-E. Aweber is what you said. I've never even heard of that, Steph.
I know. So when I was signing up for it, Melanie
Yeah.
Mitra is my coach, and she was the one who suggested it because a lot of people were using Flowdesk. And when I started getting into my email marketing, there was all that questioning around Flowdesk, like are the emails actually being sent out, or there was like a lot of indecisiveness about Flowdesk. So she said, use this one, and I have ever since, and I'm like obsessed with it. So easy.
Yeah, I believe that's how you spell it, Mandy. A-W.
All one word though. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Rachel, I mean, I'm very familiar with Flowdesk. I've heard Flowdesk, but I've never heard of Aweber at all. But you're happy with it. You're pleased with it, obviously.
I love it. Like I really, really love it. I mean, I kind of wish I used Flowdesk only because it would be nice to like be able to share resources. But my whole team uses Aweber, and we can share codes between Aweber users if someone wants to like duplicate someone else's email. So yeah.
Okay. Okay.
But I think what was really important was I didn't like blast all these coaching emails to people who weren't interested in them. Like I literally would only send it to people who actively opened the day before. And I made really I made sure to like have a subject line that was very clear what you were getting when you opened the email.
I have a question that just kind of popped in my head as you were addressing these FAQs, like the head-on questions that you ask, because one of the things that I get the most, I would say, from when I'm having business conversations is I don't want to show up on social media. And I show up on social media every day, a lot of the time of the day, and I do that for the other side of my business also. So that's what I lead with, like that. You don't have to start that way. I do that for the other part of my business. I do that because I have different goals, but I don't know if any of you see that a lot. That's like literally the number one thing besides I'm not at my goal weight. That's the other one. Once I get to where I want to be, then I'll be a partner. And I'm like, well, that's not how it goes. And I've actually talked people out of that one and now they're amazing partners. But the other one is I don't want to show up on social. And
do you know why they don't want to? Have they ever said like why?
One of them is like, my social media is a place where I like to talk about my family and share family pictures and connect that way. And so I sort of haven't, she in particular is not one who's running right now, let's say. She has 2 people under her and she's kind of okay in that place right now. But they actually don't tell me why. And then I'm just like, you know what? It kind of depends on your goals. So like I have very specific goals that then I had to get over the fact that I didn't feel like showing up on social media because of my goals were more important than that. So I maybe should ask them why. Instead, I just sort of bypass it and they have to figure it out themselves if they want certain goals to be met. I don't know.
I think a lot of times people don't know what they don't know, right? Like, so she might have this preconceived notion of what that looks like. And that may not be accurate. I don't know. Nico, what were you going to say?
I was going to say sometimes they have to baby step into it. I have somebody like a coach, well, a few of them that are the same way, but one of them was, it's because she's a teacher and she was very nervous about putting anything like that out on social. And I just said to her, you don't have to start in like a bikini. Like, do you know what I mean? You don't even have to show your body. I said, start sharing like your passion about nutrition. Talk about food. Everybody eats. They can't be upset by that. Or talk about like, if you're reading personal development, share that because it's something that they're enjoying and they need in their life and somebody else too does too, but it's coming from a place of where they feel safe
Yeah.
to
I
start.
actually really love that, the mindset part for teachers.
Yeah.
Because I think it's something that it's an industry, same with healthcare workers, that I'm like, you guys, like you're the people that need the mindset. And so if
Yes.
your parents are then watching you do mindset work, think about what they now know that you're teaching their children.
Right. Or healthy
Yeah, that's
snacks,
very cool.
right? Or
I like
right. Or
that.
healthy dinners or like there's always a way to get
Yeah.
this.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think just some of the objections I get, because mostly my women are 55 and up. They don't know social media. They don't feel comfortable with it. They don't know how to navigate it technically. And then I have some that, are going through divorce and they don't want people to see that there's some privacy or legal things, or like you said, teachers. So I have a lot of blocks with the social media part, or I don't know how to use social media and I'm not on social media. I'm not even on Facebook. I have a lot of ladies my age that are kind of in that headspace with it. So yeah, I kind of, it's hard because I feel like it is part of it. Like in order to advance, you do need to get your head around it and take baby steps into it. So I haven't let them off the hook and say, well, that's okay. You can build it without social media, because I really don't feel like that's true. So I'd love any tips to work around some of those objections.
Yeah, I mean, I love that actually, because I have a couple women who don't have social media, and I'm actually more and more 50 and 60-year-old women are coming to me, and I'm like, okay, that's great. But they're also the people who have the best networks, like at church, at card club, they're book clubbing everywhere. I mean, like every piece of information I get from any woman in my community is from my mother and her friends who are chatting away after church, right? And so it's like those are like they maybe they eventually they'll need social media by the time, let's say they hit diamond. And then they're like, "Oh, wait a minute. I just made this diamond bonus. What do I have to do that next?" But maybe it's not the thing they have to do right now. Maybe all they have to do is bring their Shakeology to their card club on Tuesday afternoons. I'm like, I'm not kidding. Like that's going to be me
Yeah.
someday. And so for them, and maybe it doesn't have to be that way. Like I love that these older women are the ones that want to take care of themselves still. And they're the ones that probably have a lot more power to then say to their daughters who have young kids, they need to be doing this too. So theirs could be like, they need to take that word of mouth. Like, let's like backwards this. Let's not force them. I don't think forcing them into learning social media is a right play yet, until they want to like really build this and scale this business, but not at the beginning. I don't know. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, they start with a warm market and then dip their toes in. I feel like that's kind of how I approach it. But yeah, they spend like an hour making a post, right? And then where did it go? I can't find it. They get themselves very worked up about the technical part of it. And I remember being like that at the beginning, being so clumsy and my kids laughing at me, Mom, what are you doing? It's so cringe. And like, putting myself out there. So it's like, they're more.
I think that's the thing. Yeah, I think you just have to like normalize the learning process and like normalize the fact that like it's okay to be super uncomfortable being a beginner, but like that's actually really a powerful place to be. And the fact that you felt that same way is just like that's like a great tool in your pocket.
And I think, listen, I think we also forget the power of that one-on-one conversation as well. And I know Allie talked about it yesterday in the National Wake Up Call. I don't know if you all watched or listened to that, but we forget the power of a one-on-one, a phone call, right? Actual conversation with someone. We've neglected that, and we've tapped into social media, which is fantastic and it has its place, but we've also forgotten that one-on-one connection as well. So, and I think with a newer partner in 50s and 60s, that's where you start. You start on that one-on-one connection, and then they start to build a little bit of confidence, right? And then it progresses to the point where, and that's something that you can easily do, Mandy, as well, as they progress. Once they, for example, achieve diamond, then you get them on the call and you share your screen with them and you walk them through it. And then you do that one day. And then the next day, guess what? They walk you through it. So it's kind of that I do, we do, you do type thing where you're showing them, actually, here's how you do it. And then I want you to do it now. And then we're going to do it, we're going to do it together as well. So no, that's really, really good. Okay.
Well, I've been at this almost 4 years and I haven't had a diamond yet, my age. So it hasn't, I'm looking for that day.
Listen, the key word is yet.
Yes.
Sandy. The key word is yet. That's right, Steph. You're absolutely right. Okay, so Deb, your only 2 signups are either Zoom call. There you go. Where's Deb? Where's Deb? Where's Deb? There you are. Okay. So Deb, same thing. I mean, right? They came from Zoom or that one-on-one connection.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, if I can find the time,
Yeah.
it usually works.
Yeah.
It just takes a lot of time.
It does. I mean, there's no doubt.
That's the hard part. Mm-hmm.
There's no doubt. Oh my gosh. Deb is the queen of getting to a coffee shop. Is that right? Okay.
I love coffee.
Hey, might as well take
Or
a big
matcha.
and matcha. All good. All good. Okay. So, I mean, first of all, I think we've all has seen how we've done last month. And I mean, Rachel, you segued very perfectly into social media, just talking about, hey, what if you have somebody that doesn't want to tap into social media right away? Anything else? What about social media for you, for example, is working right now? And let me ask you that question. I want everyone to really think about that. And I want a response from each of you. What is working well for you as it pertains to social media? And the reason why I ask this is, so Trina on the Superstar call, she said, I have a topic that I want to talk about is all of my leaders follow Holly. Okay. This is from Trina. All my leaders follow Holly. They are convinced that they have to micro niche down and that they have to, make some beautiful recipe, and she spends hours, and my team's spending hours doing that. So I just want to provide a little context into why I want to review this today. Using keywords. Yeah. Okay. So that's really, really good. And Trina's like, you know what? I just take Trina, you all know who Trina Gray is. Like, she's just like, I just take messy action. Like, I don't spend hours on it, but what's happening is her team feels like they have to invest and they have to make beautiful recipes and they have to, micro niche down. She's like, I am telling them not to do that. And so that's why I wanted to bring this conversation to all of you, because you're seeing, Rachel, you've been here for a little while now, but there's just a lot of influence that we're seeing from other partners. And it's like, I have to do that too. And we don't. So I'd love to hear from you. So Steph, just unmute yourself. I want each of you to briefly unmute yourself and just share what.
So this is something I've tried over the past few months and it works super, super well, and we see it everywhere now. It's like using keywords, right? So comment flower emoji if you want info on my spring, whatever, or comment the word plan if you want the details on my fitness plan or whatever. But not only just using that, using it in on my screen in my reel, and specifically having it be in the first 8 seconds, like having it be at the forefront of your video. That's been effective. And also not waiting until the very end of your caption to put that, but putting it in your tagline. I've only done it a few times, and it works so well because people don't have attention spans. Mm-hmm. They want my plan that I've used to lose weight. And so they're going to see, comment the word, whatever. Like, I don't know. I've done it a bunch of times. So comment the word strong if you want my plan or whatever. And they see that and they just write the word. They don't even read the rest of my caption. They just put the code word down at the bottom, and it that works so well. It works better than DM me the word plan. Like they don't want to, they won't take that extra step, but they'll comment a keyword. So I've been playing around a lot with that, and I think it works super well.
I like that.
I have one that I'd love
Yeah,
to share.
please.
What's really working for me is testimonials. So I take whoever's in my 30-day group, I put them in a chat thread, and every morning I'm talking in that chat thread, telling them, just, anything, any positive message, keeping them going. Then I every now and then will say, share a small win, celebrate something. So then they'll start sharing, and I screenshot those and put those in my stories. And so I try to do that at least once a day, if not once every other day, just to show the people that are watching that there's actual people in my group that are loving my accountability group. And so that's been really helping me a lot.
Awesome. Love it. So testimonials for you, Sherry. Yours is keywords with comments, Steph. Okay, what about you, Rachel?
I okay, first of all, I come from a storytelling background, so I really believe that creating a good brand is being able to talk about your personal brand and talk about you as a person and not just show up to sell, not just show up to um produce something, but to create a community by sharing what's going on in your life. So I all the time am documenting my life, whatever it is, the seemingly just random things that happen in my day. And I'll just make a video of it quickly. And that becomes a reel because then I can just put words over it. And then so I do a lot of doing and not thinking when it comes to social media. You will never see me use a filter because I don't know how. You will not ever see me time out. Like I don't time my posts based on when my audience is watching or when they're not because I will forget. And I just it's too much for me. There's a lot of analytics, there's a lot of algorithms, there's a lot of time that I have wasted in other years and other businesses that frankly doesn't matter. Like it just matters that you consistently show up.
Yeah.
And you show up authentically and you do it over and over and over again. Anytime you watch my stories, I say words wrong, I sneeze, I never have makeup on. It's like it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And nobody cares about that stuff. They just want to see you and they want to see your story and they want to see you relatable. I really love the testimonials. I do that probably once a week in my stories, but I really could be better at doing that as a hard post.
Yeah.
But again, yeah, and like Steph said too, I do a lot of the comment, the blah, blah, blah. And 99% of the time, and Erin says this all the time, she's like, no one comments on my stuff. It's like, I'm the number 4 leader in this company. Nobody comments, but I invite every single person if they watched or liked that post. I don't care. And so, yes, you can use all the keywords. And I do think that it gets a ton more eyeballs, which then can convert to your invites for sure. But if you're sitting there worried about like, what should I comment? And like, what should my keyword be? Like, I just put something up.
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't even know if that was a tip. I just like, I'm so anti trying to do every social media thing perfectly that I just do whatever I want and I just do it all the time.
Yeah.
So maybe be
No.
consistent is my tip.
I think you just hit the nail on the head. It's that level of consistency, just being relatable, being you, showing up, even when it doesn't, I mean, it's not perfect. People want to see the real you. And we forget about that. And we think we need to, do all these fancy, we don't, just show up. Just take action. Okay, great. Rachel, that was really good. Okay, what about you, Sabrina? She's like,
Sorry. I'm having a bad day, but I'm glad that I'm here. So thank you for holding this.
oh, I'm glad you're here too.
God, it's all the same social media stuff that we all do, but something that I actually thought about just now. You know how we have all of these crazy sales and all these promotions and all these images and we post them and we get no traction and it actually messes up our stories, our views, all that stuff. So something that I started doing a few months back, which I got a lot of success from, is I'll use those images. Like, so if it's like a TSP promo or the 3-day refresh promo, I'll use that, but I'll use green screen. And I'll talk. I'll do a video, like a 1-minute video tops talking. And so like, just so you guys know what it is, it's the green screen. If you haven't seen this already, green screen filter, you can search on it. And what you do is you add media to it. And then you can add like, I'm just going to use that for now. It's loading. So there it is. There's like a selfie tracker. And what you do is you get your picture in it, and then you're able to make you very little. So it's like, I only take up a little corner of the screen. You're not gonna be able to see it, but I just do an entire video and I'll point out, I'll be like, okay, so the 3-day refresh is on. If you haven't heard, blah, 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 and I'll point to these things. And that way you get both like the, marketing, all the stuff, like with the pricing and the options, but it's you talking, it's them looking at you and you sharing your experience and how excited you are over it. So it's just like a mini commercial. I got a lot of success from that and a lot of sales from that. So that's like my little tip. Maybe it's helpful to you.
Can you run through that one more time? That just blew my mind. I've always wanted to know how to do this.
I
Like,
know, me too.
Say more. Say that again. Like, how did you get the filter? Like, how did you start it?
Yeah.
Okay. So you go to like your stories, right? And then you go to search. Do you guys know how to search for filters in your stories? Oh,
No.
God.
Okay, let's do that. Everyone get your phone out. Okay.
How to search for filters. I actually don't even know how to. Oh, you know what you do? That's what you do.
What?
Shoot.
So I don't have the green screen one.
How do you search for
I know, like, how do you search for filters?
I'm in there right now. Oh, wait.
Mm,
Search. Let's just type in filter.
I see a search at the very end when you scroll through the filters.
Then yes, thank you. Yes, search. So it's like a little magnifying glass.
Yeah.
So you click that and then you type in green screen. So you type the other magnifying glass that's in there and you do green screen. You guys see it?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's different ones, but I don't know which one I use. I just type a green screen one, and you might have to like search for the right one that you like, but there's like a ton of different options, as you can see. I like the one where you're able to shrink your little head and place it wherever on the screen. And that way you can just, you can talk about it, like, or you could be like big on the screen if you want to, but I don't think that's necessary. And plus you can look like crap when you do it because you're so little, it doesn't matter.
What does yours look like? Like, what's the icon of the one that you use that you can adjust? There's like a ton of them here.
Mine just looks like that.
It's like just literally green with like a gray person. Okay.
Yeah. It just says green screen. It says green screen by Instagram. So Instagram is the one that created this because I know there's like a lot of different options, but that's the one that I love. But I'm sure there's better ones, but like I'm kind of like Rachel. I'm just like, I don't care. Like, I don't use filters on my, I have filters, but I don't use them anymore.
Yeah.
Women my age don't want that. They don't, like they want to see who they're actually talking to, not like the beautified version. So, but this is something that I do like to do. And it works. And you can
This
swipe.
is so amazing. Thank you for sharing that. I'm obsessed right now.
Welcome. And that way you can post your marketing stuff and actually people will be interested because,
So what was the last time you utilized that, Sabrina?
maybe yesterday. I do it all the time. Like I do it all the time, like I would say like 3-4 times a week.
And so are you really focused on products then when you're doing that, right?
Sometimes what I'll do, this isn't something else that you can do. You can take a screen recording of your groups, and then you can play like a full video. So you can literally be like, this is my group. Like I did this a lot for my partner opportunity event that we ran for the push group. I literally shared like all the different testimonials of them talking, and I'd be like, this person did this, this person did this, this person, blah, blah, blah. And I use the captions. It's really important to have the captions so they can see what you're saying because no one listens to their phone. No one has that video or that the sound on. So you're able to see all of this stuff because, right now, like people just have no attention span.
Right.
So like they have all of these things that they can choose from and just make the captions really big so they know what you're saying. And that's really helped for partner opportunity, for products, for everything, groups.
I love that. So good. I mean, I think we just all learned something. Sabrina, and you said you were having a bad day. Girl, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, okay, ladies, we have 2.5 minutes left. Nico, Deb, and we haven't even heard from all of you. Green screen queen. Okay, so Nico, Deb, real quick, anything to share as it relates to social media?
I've been adding like crazy for Facebook, just adding friends, and I don't say a word. I do nothing with them, but when I see names that I'm not familiar with, like my post or in my stories, all I do is comment and say, listen, like, hey, like, I'm so glad we're connected here on social. Social is a place to be social. I just want to say, I share a lot about my wellness. Like, I'll say just a little blurb, and I look forward to learning from you too. Just something that's not anything except it tells them a little bit of something about what I do. And I get a lot of people that respond back because it's zero. There's no sales. I'm not wanting anything from them. Or sometimes I'll ask a question, depending what the post was, but just engaging, just having conversation. And again, adding them and not paying any attention to when they show up.
Got it. Okay. Okay. That's great.
Can I just piggyback on that really quick? Because I learned this last week in one of the power hours. So for me, I'm in my 50s and it's hard to find, women to connect with. But I do most of my business on Instagram, but in Facebook, I go in and I join groups of things that I like to do. So I just joined a pickleball group, and then I joined my son goes to Michigan. So I joined that parent group. And then I'm just talking to people and getting to know people where it would authentically come up. And I might say, oh, I have this wellness business, but it's just helped me connect with a lot more people in my age group.
Love it. Okay. Sherry, thank you. Yes. Disney groups, all the things, baseball groups. Awesome. Okay. Deb, what about you? Less than a minute, girl. You're muted. There you go.
Okay. I don't have a lot. I will just say I sort of got a lot of feedback when I shared a menopause episode. So being over 50, 52, I feel like, and then everyone I was talking to seemed to respond to that and like, oh, I'm feeling like crap. And so I feel like I need to really focus